Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
This is the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Milligan, coming to you live with nothing but straight talk. You guys know how we do it around here. It's nothing but straight talk up in here. We have a great show for you today, but my co-hosts, let me introduce them. They are fabulous. You know who they are. Number one, let me introduce Mr. Keith Swanson. He's the AI man, you guys. People have been looking for him for years, and he's just all over the place, and nobody can catch him. They can't detect his voice. How are you, Keith?
I'm good. I'm getting ready to move next to a nuclear reactor where there's plenty of energy to feed me.
Oh, my goodness. You're going to be off the hook, okay?
I had to start learning how to speak Chinese because they say that's where the best AIs are.
Wow. Well, you know, everybody's knows about AI now. It's all over town. It's the talk of the town.
Yep.
I tell people it's not coming. It's already here.
It's
so
already
here. Better join to get on the wagon. Get on the wagon.
Yep. And it will place your job if you don't get ahead of it. So
absolutely.
It will take your job in a heartbeat. So.
Wow. My other co-host, you guys know who he is. He's a new author on the block 10 up the city, holding
What is seminars. The name of the book? What is the name of the book? You got to pimp the book. Come on, Ricky.
That's right. Ricky, how are you this morning?
How are you? You got to pimp the book.
I'm good.
He wants you to pimp the book.
Pimp the book, Ricky.
Go ahead and pimp Ricky.
Wow, he's just gonna use the P word. Huh?
Oh yeah. Hey, you gotta put it on. You gotta put that book on the block, Ricky. Come on now.
Yeah, when a mustard seed gets heavy.
Ooh.
Wow, that's deep, huh? When a mustard seed get heavy, and we still talking about the poem in this book. I tell people if you don't read but one poem, that's the one called Circle.
Ooh,
and people just went ape over that one. They're still talking about it because people really don't think about in the run of the day, what does your circle look like?
Exactly.
Do they all need to be in there? Do some need to go out and turn later? Do some need to never, ever come back? I mean, some shouldn't have ever got in the first place.
But people don't know how, Ricky can tell you how important your circle is, right? And I always tell guys, if you're dating and dating seriously, okay, you have to get to know your woman's circle, because that is going to be the one people in her ear and affecting your relationship, whether you know it or not. It's that her circle is only second to her family. I would say
you
that.
worry about your own circle instead of mine. Hey,
no, we got to worry about yours because your circle's going to be in our business. Okay, Ricky can tell you that the circle's going to be in your business, whether you like it or not. Okay.
Okay. Good morning, folks. Good morning. As I say, we're gonna rock with it today. We have a great show for you. Why men lie.
Ooh,
and
that's
why
easy.
Women believe.
Ooh,
today we're pulling the cover off of one of the oldest games in the book. Mm-hmm. One of the oldest games in the book. So let me ask you a question. Why do men lie to women, and why do women believe their lies? Men say, I lie to protect her feelings. Some say, I lie because I don't want to lose her. Now that's funky.
That's true. That is true.
Others say she can't handle the truth. That's
what
most
men say. That is true.
If she can't handle the truth.
That is true.
But here's the thing. When did truth become so dangerous that one rather build a relationship on falsehood versus truth. When did that happen? And sisters, real talk. Why do we believe when we know deep down inside it's a lie? Come on now, y'all know it's a lie, but we gonna, why you believe? So we're gonna talk about all of that. Is it love that makes you believe it lie? Is it desperation that makes you believe it lie? Or is it because it's fashionable to have a man in your life, regardless whether he's real or phony, that your girlfriends can see you got somebody? Oh, my goodness. What's up with all of this stuff that people just lying? People used to build relationships off of truth. But now, well, when they built it off of truth, women would real with everything. Had their own hair. I ain't gonna go there. They had their own behind. They didn't have false this and stop laughing, Ricky. They didn't have this and that. So, I mean, the world just evolving around who is this person? And they take off all this stuff. Why do women do that? I guess they think that's what men like. And it's interesting. I'm hearing men say, I'm so sick of these women with all these eyelashes.
I am too.
And I'm sick of all this, hair down to their butt. And they... When will people really tell the truth? Tell the truth and shame the devil. When will we have some true relationships? So, I asked the question, are lies the real glue that's holding relationships together? That's my question. Are lies the real glue that's holding relationships together? Is it a fact that if you really just let it all hang out and tell the truth, you may not be with this person that you're with now? Or if so, they will be unhappy. You will be unhappy. They can't handle truth. When did people get why they couldn't handle truth? I mean, is truth that dangerous? Wow. So what happened when the truth shows up? One day, folks, the truth is going to show up in your relationship. I don't care if it takes 20 years. You can only lie for so long. And when the truth comes out, look at the energy you put in a relationship. And when the truth comes out, it ends. I would rather it end in 2 years than for me to sink my emotion into something 5, 10, 15 years, and then, I think it's harder. The longer you're in a relationship, I think it's harder it is for you to come out. Are men lying to protect themselves or to protect a woman's feelings? That's what I hear most. I don't want to hurt her feelings. It's going to be hurt later. When she finds out the truth, it's going to hurt more. Remember I said the other week, it's critical how we deal with relationships now even more than ever. Because when you hurt a woman, you just don't hurt that one woman. The infestation becomes a part of your community. Because when women are hurt, so is men. When they hurt, they pass that pain down to their sons or to their daughters. So watch out for this, because that's what happened to them. So now your son goes into a relationship with one eye open, sleeping with one eye open and one eye closed. Folks, we can never build healthy relationships like that. So we are going to do most of this month, we're going to really be talking about relationships. For at least the next week, we're going to talk about the sign and behavior of men who loves that woman. And we're going to do it vice versa. And I'm telling you, some of you may break up after you. I'm not trying to start no mess. You may not break up, but you're going to be very clear that this man is not in love with you. It doesn't mean that you need to leave him now, because nobody say you got to be in love to be together. Who said that? Who said that, Ricky? Who said you got to be in
Oh,
love?
you old school now, Dr. Rose. They say you got to be in love now.
No,
They say
who
you got
said
to. They say you got to be in love now.
that? People who are talking about that, they don't even know what love is themselves.
They don't. They
They
don't.
don't.
They don't. They don't.
But when
What
they
they believe
listen
in.
to this show, these next shows coming up, you gonna know whether he loves you or not.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
then you need to find out what you need to do
Mm-hmm.
to change that. So, do women believe the lies because deep down inside they want the fairy tale
Mm-hmm.
more than the truth?
Mm-hmm. That's called game.
Or
It's
it's
called game.
because the lies was easier than facing the truth. The bottom line is this: who pays the price when the lies come crashing down? Wow. What's your take on that, Ricky?
Well, it's I really think and believe that lies have been passed down from generations to generations. Um, we talk about the generational curse and what a lot of our family. I'm just going to speak for my family in particular. Um, my both sides have been built on a lot of lies and deception, based on not having the proper, family structure. And I could just speak currently from my grandfather who passed. He did not have his parents after 6 years old. Like, his mom passed. He never knew his dad, and so he was really raised by his older sister. And so when he finally, came out of the World War II, he got with my grandmother, and they started having a family. But he didn't really know what family was, but he wanted to get married because it's something that he desired, but he didn't know how to be a husband or a father. So he, of course, had my aunts and uncles, and then he had other kids from other women, and just became a big Rolling Stone exhibit, if you would. So I just believe that when you have a disconnect, or you have deception at the beginning or later, in our past, it continues on generation after generation until someone decides they're going to change the trajectory of, the family outcome. So I just believe, like, for my father, for example, he married my mom, but he didn't really love her. He was marrying her because he was trying to escape being the oldest in the household and having to take care of everything. So that was his escape. And so if you look at all the men in the past, at least my past, they didn't really know how to love. They didn't really know how to be a man, never knew how to be a father. All they knew was, this is something that I did not have. This is something I've always desired. So I'm going to go ahead and make it the way I think it is. But you and I both know, Dr. Rosie, you can't make anything the way you want it to be. You have to have a plan. You have to have a foundation. You have to have something to build from. So I just believe that when you think about a lie has been already embedded on the inside of a man based on how he was raised and developed. And then once that lie is planted, it starts to grow. And then when it grows, it sprouts. And when it sprouts, whatever comes out of that man's mouth, it's going to be really planted deep on the inside of his soul. And that's all he knows.
And too, Ricky, back in the days, early year, black men thought that love was, you got a roof over your head.
Yep.
You got food on the table.
That's it.
They saw love as providing.
Provision. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And if a man was not providing for his wife and children, the community and the family always say, he don't love her. He's not providing, So, people tell me, don't look back, don't trace back. But folks, unless we look back to our historical past coming here in this country where men and women was not brought here, Ricky, to fall in love and get married. No, they were brought here to pick cotton and to do all the hard work. In fact, many times when the master would look out and see you happy, laughing. You better not pinch on the butt. You going too far. We gonna ship one of you to another farm. 'Cause we ain't having no loving right here. That's not what we brought you here for. People don't want to hear that backstory, but it is absolutely true. So, black men came up not showing emotion, showing feeling, only when it's time to go to bed. They in love with you, but all day. Yet men who have never seen their father and mother kiss or embrace or do any of those things, they don't do it. They don't think it. They don't know.
That is true. That is true.
You know, it's just at night. You're supposed to kiss at night or when but you don't supposed to show affection. I remember when black people would see other people out, just holding hands.
Right.
They don't, all of that now. They don't need all that. I mean, it was years before black couples started just walking and holding hands. So we got to look back and look at all these things. And what do black folks want? Same thing everybody else getting. I want you to hold my hand. I want you to do what I see on TV. Come on, somebody.
Come on now.
On TV, they hug,
social media.
They kiss. So you're looking for that TV life, and it's not like that.
Yes.
But you got to look at what you need. And what you need, black folk, may not be the same thing that other people need. You are not Caucasian clone. Because when you come home from work at the end of the day, your story, Keith, is not like the other person's story. I remember this lady wrote this book, and this black man had said about black women, they're hard, and he talked about how they act, and she said, the black woman is the one who goes to the school, have to argue with the teacher about the kids. She has had her kicking ass boots on all day. Other women have not gone through that. She have gone through sometime sexual harassment on the job. She can't come home and tell you. But what you gonna do, black man? You're gonna go up there to that job, cause that woman to lose her job, and you didn't have a job. I'm just breaking it down, telling you stuff that I've seen. You know you would come unglued if your wife came home and told you that her boss patted her on the butt. She have to hold all this stuff inside. So she's been kicking ass all day with her boots on. So when she come home, if you understand that, you're the man to say, look, baby, you at home now. Take them boots off. Still, how come you acting like this? I ain't did nothing to you. Am I walking down somebody's street? Is this somebody's address?
Yeah, it is, but the thing is, we haven't been taught that. You don't grow up with that, okay? You have to be taught that, and that's the whole
I ain't doing nothing to you. Don't come
exactly.
here with your lips out.
And like Ricky says, there's a way that you say it. You just can't say it like that. So, but as black men, I know as a black man, I wasn't taught that. Okay, I had to learn that. It took years to learn that. So,
man, you ain't up. And Keith, check this out. You said something key. If you wasn't taught that, then by the time you get into that situation to demonstrate it, you are going based on what you see and what you hear.
Right.
So you're pretty much pulling from different types of places to try to make sense of what this thing that you think is love or you think is affection. So you kind of emulate everything around you and what you see on TV, what you listen to on the radio. And so as a result, men try to figure it out, and what women don't understand, and it's not their fault, is a lot of men are trying to figure it out, and men were never taught how to ask for help.
No.
They were never taught.
And most of the help that you do ask for is not correct. So
exactly,
and then that's the problem. And when, if you do try, because I've tried it, the woman has to be taught how to accept it too. So it's not a one way thing. But the thing is, we have never been taught that way. Okay, because as a child, I wasn't really hugged. Okay, my mother and father were sharecroppers, right? And they teach you they want to teach you to be tough and resilient. So they don't hug you and caress you. They don't do all that lovey-dovey stuff, right? But I wanted my children to get what I didn't have, right? So when my children were small, I hugged them and kissed them goodnight. I kissed them on the cheek before they went to school. I hugged them when they came in the door. So when my kids got older, right, they taught my parents how to hug and be affectionate.
Wow.
and it was okay. Okay. Yeah.
So what you're saying, what I'm hearing both of you're saying,
Yes.
because men don't know,
Yes.
by the time they find out, they're
Yes.
on their third marriage.
Third marriage.
I wonder how many.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not the
That's
third
true.
marriage.
It's true though.
That's true. That's true.
I wonder how many men out there
hmm
is thinking back. You're married again. You got
hmm
a wife and kids.
Uh-huh.
But how many of you, your mind go back and think about that? If I knew what I knew now, this wife that I left would have been the best person for me. I wonder how many men have that story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the plenty of stories like that, man. You know, and the biggest pushback I get, and Ricky probably can tell you the same thing, is when I told the guys, when a woman, if she's working, okay, no matter how you feel, listen to her for at least 30 minutes, okay. You know, you can't imagine the amount of pushback I get from that. Why I gotta listen to her? I got problems too, and yada yada yada. Okay, you can't imagine the amount of pushback I get. Okay, in fact, I have a young man I was been counseling, right, and he's married, he's got a couple kids, right, and he didn't believe it at first, but guess what he does? He says when his wife comes in from work, guess what? He said no matter what, he said he'd give her at least 30 to 45 minutes to as I call it, Dr. Rosie, download and tell him about her day without judgment. Okay, and
All
guess
right.
what? He does it every day. Okay.
And I bet it's making new
It's making a
relationships.
huge difference, right? Because he was doubtful at the beginning, but then once he started trying it started making things better. So
Wow.
now he
Wow.
But
does it
see,
every day.
but
I
see,
think
that's the
Joy.
thing. Being receptive. Being
Being
receptive to
yeah.
Yeah.
what's going to work, especially when your way isn't working.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Try
Exactly.
something new.
Try something
something
new.
new.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Joyce C has a hand up. I think if you want to make a comment, just open the mic and go ahead.
Yeah, just jump in. Yeah,
At this
it's free
time.
flowing.
Yeah, jump in.
Jump in, say what your name is, and jump in, and where you're calling from, and jump right on in. If you got something to say.
No comment, Miss Rosie, but I do need to learn how to. I didn't grow up with my dad was an alcoholic, and he showed us love by doing things for us, but he wasn't a talker. But my
Right.
mother was very affectionate and sang to us when we woke up, but we went through a lot of stuff. But my dad had a good heart, and I love him for that. But he had his issues in his own, so he didn't know how to deal with it. So me, not knowing how to deal with men or how to approach men, I had some bad experiences. So then I just kind of draw back and not allow a man in my life, because I don't want to get hurt,
Yeah.
But
Are you working on that, Joy?
yeah, I'm working on it. Yes, I have an uncle's talking up to me a little bit, how to, not talk so much, listen more. And he's trying to show me some things. He's 86 years old, trying to give me some wisdom tips on that because I didn't grow up with boys. My sister was more hanging out with boys, and I didn't hang out.
Yeah. It's important because you used to have a women's group, and it's important because thanks to Dr. Rosie, okay, it's important for both sexes to know, at least have an idea how the other sex processes their thoughts and their feelings, okay?
Yes.
Right.
Because they're almost diametrically opposed. And the thing is, and what I tell women, okay, if you have to learn how to at least think like a man, okay? How does he process his words and his thoughts so you get an idea how to approach him? You don't have to agree with it, but things you have to understand it.
Yes.
And Joy, you don't want to shut a man out of your life.
No.
About being hurt. You're not going to get through life without hurt.
Yes,
You're
right.
not going to get through life without pain, Joy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but each pain you gain. You
Yes.
gain from every heartache that you have ever had.
Yes.
Trust me, I bear witness that you grow from that. So don't shelter your heart because it's nothing better than have a loving relationship with the man.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so don't cheat yourself, babe. Don't
Yeah,
cheat yourself.
that's why I want to keep learning because I don't want to cheat myself in my senior years.
I thank you for joining us. I met Joy over at the Women on the Grove retreat with Jewel Diamond Tail. It was absolutely awesome. We learned so much. One thing I did when I came back, Joy, I started decluttering. I'm throwing out things, putting boxes of shoes, and I said, now, why do I need 30 pair of shoes and all of them hurt except 2 pair?
Come on now. Preserve the ankles, Dr. Rosie. Preserve the ankles.
So I am decluttering.
You're already tall, Dr. Rose. You don't need those high heels. You're already tall.
I know. You absolutely right. So I'm changed. I have changed. So look, if you all ever get a chance to go to a retreat or something, escape for 3 or 4 days. I mean, around 50 women and sharing. I'm telling you, you will come back with your life change.
That's wonderful.
Elaine has her hand up. Elaine, I missed you. I have you scheduled for, I think I emailed you what date. Elaine is going to be our guest this month.
Okay.
Elaine, go ahead. How are
hey,
you?
everybody. Yes, Dr. Rosie, I will get back to you. And by the way, if you're throwing out any fur coats, let me know. I will make a trip down there. Don't get rid of your fur coats. I want them.
I sure have one too, and I know we're not going to wear it out here. See, that's another waste. Now, why would you have a fur coat?
And to say that you have one, yeah.
I'll wear it. I will wear it.
I'm sending it to you.
Oh, thank you. But I wanted to make a comment.
Okay.
Like most of us women, when we marry a guy, right? We love him with all our heart. There's so much emotion involved, and then something happens, and then we start to not trust.
Why
and
is
my
that?
point of not trusting was my husband said, he says, do you love me? Do you really trust me? I said, yeah, I trust you. He says, if you really trust me, turn around and just let yourself fall backwards and I'm going to catch you. So I think that there's some sort of thing that people do to show their trust in that. Well, I did that and he let me fall and hit my head on the floor.
Oh, really?
And,
wow.
And he said, that'll teach you.
Ooh,
and I said to
mean.
myself, yeah, this is going south very, very fast. And the marriage lasted 10 years, but it was just little things. And of course, then after that, we as women, we start like, I'm going to pay you back.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. You know what I did? I put saran wrap around the toilet seat so that when he went to go to the bathroom, it went all over the floor and he wasn't happy about that.
Okay.
So you start to do, I'm going to pay you back. And that's not a good basis for a relationship.
Yeah, if anybody did that to me where I leaned back and they didn't catch me and I fell on the floor, that's a deal breaker. Okay, right there. Okay.
Well, I guess it was a deal breaker.
People have their own deal breakers, but certain disrespect is a deal breaker for me, and that's disrespect. Okay,
and that's why communication comes in, Keith, because sometimes what a woman or man may perceive as disrespect may not be considered disrespect. That's why the line of communication comes. That's why you have to tell a person your likes and your dislikes. This is disrespectful. I don't like when you do this. I feel disrespected. And versus just saying, "Well, I'm angry. You make me mad." Talk about what you feel. How it makes you feel, and that's what people don't do enough. I'm mad. I'm angry. That doesn't say enough. You need to be able to express it. Elaine, did you finish?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make that comment and I'm sure there's other women listening that said, you start to think about ways to pay back.
Yeah.
And we both got into martial arts and we got into it a couple of times and, I'm no lightweight when it comes to that, man. I fight to win.
Ooh,
and
okay. So he was your match in a sense.
Well, he was much bigger than me. He's probably
what I'm saying
like
is
size.
I'm not talking about size wise. I'm talking about aggressiveness. Okay, he's your match. That's why
he wasn't. No, he wasn't because he was actually afraid of me. He said, "I'll never get a gun in here. You'll probably shoot me." I'm like, I'm not going to shoot you.
Yeah.
I couldn't even lift the damn gun. The guns are so heavy. So anyway, I just wanted to comment on that we as women start to strategize. You got to do a payback.
And payback, I'm going to tell you as a relationship therapist, payback, sometimes it bounce back. Sometimes it bounce back. It's so much energy goes into trying to get even with someone. Number one, we don't know what really hurts you the most times. Sometimes you do. Like a kid, if you take his Nintendo, I guess they probably got another name, this old school.
Yeah.
Then he's going to be hurt. So sometimes, have you really learned in relationship what really gets this person go. You know. Now, let me ask you this. We say,
Dr. Rosie.
Yes.
This is Dolores Hicks Radcliffe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You stopped selling real estate long enough to jump on here?
Yes, I did.
In between calls, okay.
Yes. I got a few moments. I said I'm going to do it this morning.
Okay.
And, I wanted to say that I've been blessed with 2 good relationships. My husband is deceased of 26 years.
Okay.
The man I'm with now has been 32 years.
Ooh, my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
I've always been the type, which my mother taught me when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, a man is something you want. He's not something you need.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother always made me realize that I don't need a man to survive in life. So I don't worry about long hair and long eyebrow lashes or trying to impress a man. I dress to impress myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all about me. And she always taught me to love myself first, because if I don't love myself, I don't know how to love anyone else. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been one to have a situation to do a payback, but I've always resented women that would put sugar in the tank or cut up their clothes. You know, to me, that's wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that energy on yourself and move on.
That's true.
Okay? Rather than trying to get payback, you should be just moving on forward and thinking about yourself, and just leave that alone. You know, that was no good for you. Let it go. You know, just leave it alone. And the worst women to me are the ones that get pregnant purposely, thinking that having a baby is going to get them.
Come on now.
That is not going to get you that man. He is not going to want you just because you have a baby. Okay? I used to have a nail salon from 1980 to 96 before I got in real estate. And I had women come through there that would tell me how they purposely not taking a pill to get pregnant. And I would tell them, you are so wrong to make someone to have a relationship or be in your life. You're not going to have anything with them. They're going to be in your life because of that child. Or they're going to duck and dodge you because of that child and never pay child support, you know. But you're not going to get him, and he's not going to love you just because you have a baby, okay? Those are the worst ones to me ever, okay, is when you try to get a man and get pregnant to do it. Okay?
Yeah, so they were lying to themselves.
Yes, because that's not going to make him want you. You got to first, like I said, you got to love yourself first. Okay?
Absolutely.
And when you love yourself, you're not going to put yourself in a position with a man that you got to get pregnant to keep him. Okay?
Right. And if you have to put gas, sugar in his tank to mess his car up, and then you go pull out your credit card to get your car fixed. I mean, I've seen all type of crazy stuff. You tear up his clothes, and then you help him buy some
new ones.
Buy new ones, yeah.
Do something that you end up in jail by doing it. Okay, split and tired. It's not worth it. Yeah,
because it made you feel good at the moment.
I don't even think it would make me feel good.
Well, you're different. You're different, but most women, that make them feel good. That's why they do it, because it makes them feel good in the moment.
Wow, no.
Wow.
Because, like I said, you got to have a horrible man in your life to have to go to that extreme.
Not necessarily.
I mean, he has to do something for you to do that.
Not necessarily.
Oh, you just do it for doing it?
No, I'm a witness.
Who cut up your tires, Keith?
It was more like breaking out the back windshield, but that's a different story because
wait, hold up.
Now I've had a man break my windshield.
Yeah,
because I was leaving him.
Because you're leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're leaving, and they don't
never had nothing else to do with it from that point.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, throwing bricks,
gas tanks, slashing tires.
Oh
yeah.
Don't forget about the key in the car as well.
What about the key in the car?
You key the car, you scratch the paint with the key.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To me, all of that is
happened to me.
All that come because of lies and believing. And when you find out the lies, when you really find out, then you're mad, you want to do something. When it was all in your face in the first place.
You know what the real game is, and this is what I've been taught, okay? A woman will lie to herself. All you got to do is reinforce it.
Keith, don't you make me mad. I ain't listening to you.
Well, I always believe that it's good for the goose.
There was Dolores ran a nail shop for how long, Dolores? Tell me if I'm lying, okay?
Okay.
Tell me if I'm lying. Okay, most guys already know the real game is to figure out what she wants and just reinforce what she already believes. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to lie to her.
Yeah, but a lot of women don't realize that. Okay.
But you know what?
And what I always say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let that right off the bat. See, I'm not going to go around cutting your ties because I found out you cheated. I'm just going to leave you alone. Go get me something to lay under. Okay.
But look, it's like this. There are a lot of women who do not feel whole. And then when I make this comment, I'm coming to Simone because I know she got something to say. They do not feel whole without having a man. So they know
that's true.
They know that this man does not love them,
but
they bear them. And plus, they've been taught. Women been taught when they in bad relationship, girl, just hang in there. Joy coming in the morning. You know, you went to church Sunday. You told the pastor. He told you, honey, weeping may endure for a night. Come on, y'all. But joy coming in the morning, and you're leaning on that. Or you feel, well, just make it do. No, women know how to make it work. Girl, you make it work. Make it work. Women are told to make it work when men are told, walk away.
Depends.
Look, Keith, don't you be cutting up today. I know what
I'll be quiet.
But you need to get out of that. You need to get out of that.
Well, let me say something. I agree with both of you. And the reason why is because, one, depending on how that man was raised, if he saw his father, his uncle, his grandfathers just walk away because they just was tired, then that's what he gonna do. So a lot of men don't really know how to fight for what they want. A lot of men don't know how to fight for what they believe in, but they're used to running away because they don't have to be accountable. They don't have to own up to what they're not doing. So it's easy to walk away and go somewhere else because you don't have to take responsibility for your action. But for those who want to stay, who want to fight, who want to make it work, it's really based on what they really want and desire and what they're willing to sacrifice. Because if a man sees his parents together happily for, say, 20, 30 years, 9 times out of 10, that's going to translate to him. He has something to look at as far as an example. But you have a lot of black men out there who don't have that kind of example. They're used to just going from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman because they don't understand what it means to stay in and fight and express. And then going back to what the woman said previously, people don't know how to process their pain. And so, you know, when you got sugar in the tank and keying cars and all that stuff, you have a lot of people who don't know how to process their pain because they are still dealing with trauma in their life. So when they're dealing with trauma in their life, the way they process pain is getting back, having revenge. I'm gonna get to him, or I'm gonna get to her before they get to me, or I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna prove them. They ain't gonna never do that. And so now you're really into a rage mode.
Yeah, and Ricky, they're trying to get you to hear them. Listen, y'all, be very clear. People do a lot of things to get people to hear me, see me. That's why people slice their wrists. That's why people take pills and you find them on the bed. They're saying, hear me. So when they slash your tires, they're saying, hear me.
Hear me. Yeah, I want you to feel the same pain I felt when you left me. Okay. But I want to say something about what Eddie Griffin said about the guys he grew up in the neighborhood, the fathers grew up in the neighborhood, right? They used to pull up from work after working, 10, 11 hours a day, pull up in the driveway and not go into the house, right? They had to sit out with a beer or a drink before they actually walked into the house. They did that. He used to see them do that every day, right? Because he knew the hell he was going to have to face when he walked through that door, right? And they didn't leave, okay? There's a lot of that goes on. I've heard a lot of guys that will not leave, that women stop giving them sex, yada, 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 but he's got a mortgage, he got kids to raise, blah, blah, blah. He can't leave, okay? He can't leave. And it happens all the time.
It does. But one thing we got to look at, if people would deal with the truth, deal with what they're feeling, not basing a relationship based on lies, because it's all going to crumble down at some point.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
And if a man feel like well, I'm going to hurt her feeling.
That's true.
Being truthful is hurting her feeling. Are you willing to sacrifice your truth for life?
If she's going to keep my car, I might.
No, are you willing, really, to sacrifice your truth? Your truth is who you are. Your truth is your heart. Heart, not HARD. I need to specify that because some people get mixed up. Yeah. Your truth is your HEART, not your HARD.
And sometimes telling the truth to that woman means that you probably won't stay with that woman. You're going to lose her.
Big deal. Then you don't need to be with that woman.
That's probably
true.
You
can't be truthful because my dad always said, you tell one lie, you tell two.
Yeah, you will.
Elaine, got your hand up. And then I want to hear from Simone.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say that it's important to realize some of the things that we do. Like, I'm going to get him back. I'm going to fix him. You can end up going to jail. Now, I met this guy at a party, right? I'm going to be really quick. Met this guy at a party. He said, there's a party down the highway, and I'd like to go. Would you like to go with me? I'm like, okay, sure. He said, well, I don't drive, so if you could pick me up. Then my girlfriend tells me, he told me the same line. I'm like, oh my God, perfect situation. I said, I'm going to make him pay for everything any man ever did, ever on this earth. We're going to take him down the highway, and then midway between when there's 20 miles each way, I'm going to tell him to get out. And she's like, I'm afraid because his family might not invite us to parties. But then I found out later, had he been in an accident on the highway, if he had got run over, I would have been charged with putting him in that situation. I was just looking at, I'm going to teach him a lesson. Every man is going to see that, and they're going to be like, oh, my God, I'll never mess with her. I'll never mess with another woman. But it could have been that he got hit, and I would have had to go to jail.
Exactly. So we don't need to pay back. People cannot be true for you all about, basic things. As a counselor, I have counseled women who is dealing with sexual issues with their husband, vice versa. Now, here you're married to someone, and you can't talk to them about your feelings or your dissatisfaction. You hear women say, well, I just fake it. Like, why do you need to do that when you can make it be a reality that you can enjoy sex with your husband? Why you have to fake it? How are you going to be married to somebody and you can't talk about something like that? I've heard, I had a male client told me, I don't like kissing my wife because, she has a breath odor. You can't tell her you all can't fix that. Come on, maybe there's some cavities involved. Maybe the person might just need a good colon cleanse, Yes. But something just that simple. That you, I don't get it. We cannot base relationship on lies. If me expressing my heart is going to hurt your feeling, how did you qualify this person, Ricky, in the first place to be in this type long relationship with, and you can't talk to that person? That's the kind of relationship that was based on feeling good in the bed.
Feeling good in the bed.
That's all breaking on down. That's the kind of relationship. That's right. They came with nothing but, baby, you turned my world upside down. You gave me a thrill. That's the kind of relationship that's not based on understanding and true feeling. It's based on sex. And you have too many relationships based on sex. You keep coming back. Now, you keep coming back. Now, as a woman, I'm thinking, he loves me. Because you over every week. You can't wait to get to me. What would make a woman think that you did not love her, Ricky, if every week, that you are always hungry for her? You chasing her down. Now, you never told her you love what's between her legs. You never told her anything else. Okay?
Yep.
So what about those kind of relationships? Why can't a man just say, look, I don't intend for this to be a long-lasting relationship, but I love having sex with you. She may go, wow, that's all I want. Whoa, you the kind of man I've been looking for.
But I can change.
You'll be surprised.
But I can change him.
if it changed, turn into something.
That's what they believe.
That's gravy. That's gravy.
Well, listen, we're active in the chat. Let me just go because Simone left a message. She's on, but she's in the office, so she can't really speak.
Okay.
She did comment. She says, we were talking about when the relationship is over. She says, women know when the relationship is over. Sometimes we stay longer to process through our emotions and grieving the end of the relationship before we leave. And so when we talk about lies, she said, those lies kill. They invite disease into the body, and the longer the lie is held, the more deadly it is. And so, you know, I want to just kind of piggyback on that because a lot of times I do agree with her. A lot of times a woman does know when the relationship is over. However, a lot of times men may want the relationship to be over, but they don't want to let that person go. They don't want that person to be with someone else. So you have a lot of men who have control issues, and it's like, if I can't have you, no one else will type of mentality. And so when you look at that possessiveness, the question becomes, where does that come from? Well, obviously it comes from the fact that there are a lot of men that are insecure. They don't really know who they really are, and they don't have enough confidence to know that they have enough to keep a woman. So what they'll try to do is they'll try to either manipulate her, deceive her, or even put fear into her to force her to stay under their guidelines. And then you have a lot of women who end up falling for that because they also are insecure and they lack self-esteem and confidence. They don't want to be by themselves. There's a lot of women that I've met have said, I'd rather be with a man than not with a man. I'd rather have a piece of a man than no man at all.
Yes.
And so when you look at all of those conversations, you're asking yourself, okay, so was this relationship really built on trust, love, and understanding, or was it built on need and necessity?
Need and necessity, yeah.
Well, let me ask you men this. What about the men who know within his heart, this is not the woman I would marry, this is not the woman that I want for long term, but I like the sex, and they keep coming back. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Because I came up with this, about 20 years ago, right? Because my sister's friend was actually going through this, right? Men have 3 levels of commitment, right? Because I've known couples, on at work, right? They were his jump off. Okay, there's a sexual partner, which I call a jump off, the girlfriend and the wife, right? And there's qualifications for 3 levels, right? And a man does not throw away his tools. Okay, if that woman fits that need for that man for 20 years, he'll keep that woman for 20 years, right? If their girlfriend is a good girlfriend, but she's funny with the money, funny with the relationship, he'll keep her as a girlfriend for 20 years, right? Okay. And I used to tell guys, everybody's heard of Kevin Samuels. I used to tell him, right? A man knows within 6 to 8 weeks, that woman qualifies, not necessarily going to be his wife, but qualifies for his wife. He knows that pretty early on, right? And basically, there's 3 levels of commitment for that man, right? I always tell a woman,
but Keith, why does he stay with this woman if only thing he likes about her is sex? That's a hardcore question.
Okay,
so why would he do that?
It's really simple, because she's feeling a need that he has.
Okay, but why would he do that when maybe there's somebody else?
You don't care about her. If she wants to leave, he'll let her go. But the thing is, as long as she's there feeling the purpose that he has for her, he'll keep her.
But does he feel like she's the only woman that can feel his sexual need? Then why would that low-down buzzard do that? I'm getting mad now.
Okay, you might get mad. When I'm getting mad, right? You can get mad. You can get mad all you want. It's because she would not be there if he wasn't feeling the need for her to. Okay, she's there. There's no.
She thinks he loves her.
No.
Any woman where men keep coming back sexually.
Okay.
The woman, there's women. Let me answer this.
Okay.
If a man keeps coming back, craving you sexually, wouldn't a woman think that this man loves her?
Okay.
Is there a woman on the line that can answer that for me?
Okay. The thing is, this is the problem. That while men and women see relationships differently, right? Women see relationships as a function of time. Okay. If I've been with him so many years, I've earned the right to move up to the next level. Okay. In her mind, okay? In other words, I graduate from one level to the next.
Y'all gonna let Keith tell you what we think.
Right.
It's really weird. Will a real woman please stand up?
Well, let me. Okay, how about this? Let me read the chat because we got.
Hold on. Hello.
Good.
got to chime in. I know I'm in the office, but I can't let this go down like this. How y'all doing?
We great. Good to hear you, babe.
I think that men actively avoid the conversation of how they feel about the woman or what the status is, so that it can be ambiguous, and so that the woman can continue to think whatever she's thinking, and then the woman actively avoids the conversation about status as well, because she may be afraid of what the
She don't want to lose him. She don't want to
of
lose him.
what the man will say about the conversation, and then she'll have to make a decision about whether or not she'll stay with this man based on his truth. So both parties are actively avoiding a conversation because they're afraid of what they might lose in the process.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you this, Simone, and this is, you might agree or disagree, right? Okay. Why does a woman who's a side chick, okay, go with a man that she knows is married? Okay, and the man, I've had a bunch of guys go have a side chick and says, I am not leaving my wife, okay, but she stays thinking that she can convince him to leave his wife. Why she do that? And he told her up front.
Keith, a lot of them do not want you to leave your wife. They do not want a husband. They want the wife to have all those problems that she's having with you. They don't want you. They want to go out with you. You take them out when they go out. Them and their girlfriend, they got a man on their arm. They don't want you. If you left your wife, they would not marry you.
He's a fun buddy. He's a fun buddy.
She's a fun buddy. She's a fun buddy, but she also leaves, stuff in his. She leaves stuff in his trunk. She leaves lipstick in his car, all kind of stuff. They actually sabotage the marriage. So what I'm saying,
I think so, Keith. I think you're talking about two different people.
No.
Yes, you asked me a question. I'm trying to answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so there's two type of women that are dating married men, right? So the first type is the one that Dr. Rosie had described. Like they don't want any other ties, they don't want any real responsibilities. Then you have the other one that has verbally agreed with the situation, but in their mind still wants to prove themselves and wants to try and be this person that he would eventually fall in love with, and then on his own want to leave his wife. And so that's the woman who's leaving her stuff behind. But the one that Dr. Rosie is describing, she's not leaving nothing.
Oh, yeah. I already described the first type, right? And Dr. Rosie said, why would a man keep that woman around? And why would she stay around? I said, because she's comfortable in the role that she's in. I said that.
So they both benefit.
Yeah.
They both benefit.
He don't want to look for another woman because he know ain't no one woman got locked down on sex. Okay? Ain't no one vagina so unique that there's nothing else out there like it. Okay, let's just throw it out there like that. Dr. Rosa don't play when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, but he's not willing or don't have the energy, don't want to, so he's complacent. So they both playing games. Okay, so she's getting what she wants, he's getting what he wants.
Yeah.
But in the long run, somebody end up getting hurt.
Sometimes it peters out. Sometimes it doesn't. The thing is, though, I was trying to describe. You asked, why does a man keep a woman around that he's not going to marry, but he might not be in love with? I was trying to describe that. Okay, because a man, especially men. Okay, it's not all men. Okay, but especially men. And I've tested this. I've tested this over like the last 20 years. Okay, especially men, right? Okay, they have levels of qualifications for each category of woman, right? And I especially want to tell women, okay, if he has not proposed to you, if you're looking to marry him, okay, and he has not proposed to you within 3 years, okay, there's two things: either you don't qualify for his wife, or there's a major gotcha that he can't get past. And I just talked to a young man, counseled a young man just yesterday, right? He's been with his girlfriend for 5 years. And he just got engaged. I said, okay, why did it take you so long? He said, well, she got everything I want. I said, no, why did it take you so long? And then he started giving me all the gotchas that he was looking to correct before he got married to her. Okay, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I can't tell you how accurate it actually is. Okay.
Well, let me say this as we coming closer to close.
Okay.
Men and women need to stop playing games.
Okay, good luck.
No, really. And that's what we need to talk about. Relationship seminars, families need to teach their sons and daughters. Don't tie up somebody's emotion. Just be frank. If all I want, you'd be surprised that the two of you wanting the same thing, but you're playing games. So it doesn't make sense. Not every woman wants a husband. Not every man wants a wife. So it's just time to stop playing games, because like I say, when you hurt one person, that impact can ripple through the community, because down to your kids and your grandkids. Now, when we ask the question, why do women hold on, even when the truth is staring them in the face? The truth is staring a lot of women in the face. Is it love or in denial? Well, why can't he love me? I mean, how come he can't love me? I got my eyelash, I'm cute, my hair hanging. They just can't figure out why you can't love me. There are women who go through that with that self-esteem. They're doing everything to make you love them. You know, I help pay this car note. I let him, he can come over when he wants to. Why he can't love me, but I'm going to make him love me. Now you working on, you don't have the formula, but yet you think you can make him love you. If
Dr. Rosie.
Yes, go ahead.
That's women that think they need a man to survive.
Okay.
You don't need him. He's something you want. He is not something you need. And when women realize that, they'll stop going through the changes they go through. Love yourself and don't realize you don't need a man. Okay?
You're right. It goes back to what I say in the book, Satisfying the Black Man, Sexual Made Simple and Black Woman. I say a man is a luxury, Dolores.
Yes, there it is.
He's not a necessity.
There you go. Definitely not. But if you know what? I've always said, if you can't die for me, I'm not going to live my life the way you want me to.
I like that.
And women have the tendency to let a man tell them how to live, how to breathe, how to walk, how to talk, and everything. When God say, Dolores Hicks Radcliffe, it's time for you to go, if he can't step up and say, take me and not her, he can't live my life.
But
that's why I don't understand people doing a whole lot of stuff, Keith, just to have a man. Spending your money dressing a certain way.
A lot of people live on image and want, okay? Most people do, okay?
Well, that's what we're trying to break that cycle.
Well, the thing that's the human condition, okay? And that's difficult to break that cycle. And I tell guys the same way, okay? You don't need, what you need is this, but I want that, okay? And I'm willing to go to the ends of the earth, spend all my money, whatever I need to do to get what I want. And same thing with a woman.
So what he's saying is that's why men lie.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Give her what you want. Yes.
Brenda, let me see if Brenda have a comment before we close the show out. Brenda's always so quiet. Brenda, jump in and give us some wisdom. Brenda?
Can you hear me?
We got you.
My comment is, I see a lot of times, I'm the type of person that I'm willing to walk away peacefully. I mean, I come in peace and I leave in peace. If you're not what I want and I'm not what you want, and it becomes painfully clear to me, I am willing to walk away peacefully without any problems. The thing is, I question whether or not you can tell a man initially, this is what I want out of the relationship. What is it that you want out of the relationship? I question the fact, will he be willing to tell the truth at that point? Because you are a person who is looking for the truth up front. Will a man tell the truth up front when the question is asked to him point blank, this is what I want? What is it that you want out of this relationship?
Does the man care? Does that man, particular man in front of you, care what you want, or does he care what he wants?
I think what Brenda is saying, early in relationship, these are the questions, and that would stop all this bull crap. This would stop all that. There's no room for lying. Now, when you lay it on the table, when you discuss everything, when you discuss money, when you discuss socialize, when you discuss church, tithes, paying, anything that can come into your life, when you discuss sex, sexual methodology, all of these things that people really need to be willing to really be comfortable with talking about, versus finding out later. That's where the lies come in.
That's where lies come in. Okay, I'll give just before we go, I'll give you some game, right? Okay, and this is what I've learned, right?
You gotta make it quick. It's 11 o'clock.
Okay. In other words, say I'm with Brenda, right? I see Brenda, I meet Brenda, and Brenda has what I want because I want her in this moment, right? Okay, and I find out what Brenda really wants. I'm willing to lie to her and say I'm only going to have her for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, right? I'm willing to get what I need from her in 6 months, and when the truth comes out, okay, I'm willing to let her go. Okay.
Well, Brenda, being the type of woman she is, and a person like me, there are ways to tell, and you will find that out in our next session when we talk about signs and behaviors. As when a man loves a woman and when a woman loves a man. And those signs and those behaviors are not there, honey, you might as well cross it off the book or say this is a temporary situation and all I want this is for a little while. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to give you the signs and behaviors when a man loves a woman and when a woman loves a man. And I tell you, when that show is over, you would be very clear about those signs and symptoms. Okay? So you guys, the clock on the wall said that's all. Thank you all for joining us. And you guys have a great day as you go on your way. And men, stop your lying.
Ain't gonna happen, okay?
Well, that's you. Ricky ain't gonna be lying. Ricky ain't lying, okay? Now, Keith want to lie, you guys. See, we got Ricky telling the truth and Keith lying. So you guys got to be able to
I have told the truth to women, and they tell me that's not the truth I want to hear, right? In other words, lie to me, okay?
Wow. To her regardless of what she asks. You give it to her the way she needs it, not what she wants it.
That's right.
Respect.
I do now. That wasn't me back when I was young. Because
That's okay.
I wanted Brenda that bad, okay?
I'm going to beat up Keith. I'm going to beat him up.
Well, Elaine, you know, when they get old and apparatus not function the way it used to function, it becomes a whole new ball game. That's all I'm saying.
That's so true. That's very true.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have a great day.
All righty.
Have a good day, doctor.
Keep your apparatus functioning. If it's not functioning, go to the doctor. Okay, y'all have
it still works.
I'm gonna go sell some.
And if it's not working, ladies, please tell them it's not working, and y'all do something about it.
I'm gonna go sell some property.
Amen.